Hello, welcome, everyone. Welcome to the series. I'm thinking about calling this like the weekly Lunch with Latrice series. I have to think of something. We are at a different day and time. You all know we usually come on Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern. However, I had some personal things and appointments, so we had to switch that to today. And then this is actually the topic I was going to do a couple weeks ago, and then I was in a different location and had some significant tech issues. And I realized I was like talking, and then it didn't record and it cut us off. And so many of you were like, Latrice, where's the video? We need this. We want to hear this. So I am coming to you all live. I'm doing this again. All the tech is working. We're a good Wi-Fi Ethernet cord. We're good. So as I'm going through this topic, I'm going to share with you all the specific steps that I took my client through to land a $180,000 offer in 2025 as a woman of color. I'm going to try to answer all the questions that I think you're going to have, like what was her industry, how long has she been in it, things like that. I'm going to answer all of those details. I'm going to share with you all like why she came to me, what was the original issue, and then exactly how she got this offer. In the meantime, if you have any questions or you just want to be like, hey, hi Latrice, we're here, right? Feel free to start commenting. This is your time. I'm doing this for you all, so I want to hear from you. What questions do you have? What comments do you have? What are you seeing in the job market right now? I'm actually going to be doing a post and a live about a report that just came out, an article just saying how 300,000 Black women have been removed from the workforce since January, since this new administration has come and taken over, right? So we want to talk about how we can navigate um, through the next few weeks. I'm also going to share with you all how I believe my point of view has changed, some non-traditional advice that I've been giving my clients, and what it can look like to still have financial freedom, personal freedom, and abundance, even in this kind of tumultuous time. Okay. So that's going to be coming up over the next few weeks. But feel free to put in the comments kind of what you're thinking, what you're feeling, questions that you have, any doubts. Let's talk it through. Let's have community time. This is for you all. All right. So as you're joining, give me a hey. I love seeing who's watching. Give me a hey, hi, let me know where you're joining in from. I am currently in Texas. Woo-hoo! And y'all know Texas be Texan. Be doing their thing. So I'm in Texas, originally from Baltimore on the East Coast, but it's been a unique experience being here in Texas. Let me know where you're joining in from as we get started. Okay. So this topic is how my client landed a $180,000 offer in 2025 as a Black woman. You all, I was going to have my board up and like literally write it down. I was like, I may do that next time. I was like, no, let's just keep it simple, Latrice. But if you worked with me before or you're one of my clients, y'all know I love taking it to the whiteboard or I have like a flip chart. We're going to keep it simple. I was like, we're going to keep it simple. So I decided to do this topic. I really want to show you all what is still possible. I know we're almost getting like bombarded with so much, I don't want to say negativity, but it is a portion of reality. Like these things are actually happening. The job market is extremely competitive. Companies are laying off by the thousands every day, and there are still companies hiring. Okay, so there's still things going on, and based on what you want for your life and your career, you want to make sure that you're either getting hired, getting the revenue, getting the money. Like you want to make sure that you and your family are going to be okay. All right. So feel free, share, Tag this out. If you know a woman of color or a Black woman who needs some motivation, who needs to hear this, who needs to hear something positive, tag this out. If you just want some positivity on your timeline, share this out, tag it. I recommend that you all do that. Even my hashtag team replay people, I always get like a few people live and then hundreds of people watching the replay. Love my replay people. So I want to start off by saying, my client, she is a Black woman. I want to say she's in her early 30s, and she has a master's degree, and she's currently working on a PhD. So I wanted to let you all know she's intelligent, she's experienced, she has the credentials. Okay. And so what happened was she was laid off at her job. She did have a job. She was already making over six figures and she got laid off. They did tell her this was coming. Partly due to some of the things with the new administration, she worked for a government contracting company. Okay. So just to kind of give you all that background. And then she is in my leadership legacy program. So I know that most people know me for my Fearless Branding Formula program, which helps you get to the first six figures and beyond. My next level program is for women in leadership or who want to get in leadership. In their careers or business. And so the goal there is we help you make 200K or more without sacrificing your family time and personal freedom. And this person, her base offer was 180, but that is not including bonuses and incentives. She's well over 200 when you include her bonuses and incentives. All right. So kind of wanted to give you all some background there. And so when she came to me this time, this is a client that I've worked with in the past. She was laid off. I think she'd been laid off for maybe a month at this time. And she felt like the interviews were slowing down. Things weren't happening as fast as she had been used to them happening in the past. When we got to the core of what was really going on, yes, it's these external things, but it was also this internal thing that she's feeling like she job hopped a little bit. She's feeling like nobody is wanting her or wanting to hire her, right? And I think it was also a little bit of like, I'm not enough, I need to get more kind of a thing going on. And so we really had to work on her mindset. We had to work on how she's presenting herself. And what I mean by this, if you have a thought that I am a job hopper, nobody wants to hire me, we don't realize those thoughts will then show up in our LinkedIn, on our resume, when we apply for roles, when we're interviewing, when we're speaking to people. That's why it's so important to get to the core thought and start to revamp that. All right. And then she was doing a lot of strategy work. And I was like, okay, this is fine. But you also need to work on a little manifesting, like making things easier on you. Like looking for a job does not need to be a full-time job. It doesn't need to like stress you out and steal your energy. And people think you're not doing it right if it doesn't do these things. But I can tell you, I've met people who were job searching 40 to 50 hours a week, stressing themselves out, gaining weight, losing weight, not eating, overeating, causing themselves like health issues, high blood pressure, getting headaches, all of these things over a job search, and they still weren't getting the results. I'm like, there's a better way. So the three things that we primarily focused on with her was, one, building kind of like her high level brand. Okay. She did not want to supervise. So you all have heard me speak before. You can be in leadership and be considered a leader without supervising or managing someone else. You're just, you would be considered a high level individual contributor. And so that's what she wanted. So we got clear on that. But we worked on that brand of how do we position you as a leader, as a high level leader, right? So we worked on her personal branding, and I'm going to go into detail about all of these, but I just want to tell you up front the three things that we worked on. Her personal brand on a high level, meaning internally and externally. How do you position yourself as a leader, right? Her personal branding, her mindset. And mindset is simply a thought, reframing your thoughts that are no longer working for you, creating a thought that's going to help you get your, help you get achieve your goals. Simple, right? People hear the word mindset and they're like, what does this mean? What's this? Simple. We're just reframing thoughts. You have a thought, it's not serving you, it's holding you back. Now we just want to reframe that into a thought that's going to help you get what you want. That's it. And then one of the things she was very open to was manifesting. And I use manifesting and manifesting techniques so that you don't have to physically exert as much effort and you don't have to work as hard. So, manifesting is simply creating what you want by, I would say, some sort of belief or like creation. That's it. You're just creating what you want, right? Simple things. People have these terms and they sound so woo woo, but it's very simple, very basic. And I'm going to show you all how we took these techniques and made it very simple and how she implemented them to lead to this $180,000 offer in 2025 as a Black woman. So when we started with her personal brand, we realized she had a brand but kind of didn't. She had different levels of experience. She noticed like she would start getting the interviews but not get further in the offer process, right? Or in the interview process. So that's how I knew it was a branding issue. And so one of the things we did, we were like, okay, how can we position you and brand you as this high level person who can come in and solve their problems? Even if there's a specific element or technique you don't know, you overall know these things, right? And so she is in cybersecurity, so that's her industry. And one of the things that we worked on was like, how do we position you that, like, even if you don't know this one aspect, or how can you transition from like government to corporate and still maintain this high brand of like, I know how to help you, I can help you, I will help you. So that was what we really focused on. And so what that looked like was switching the language in her resume to attract more corporate, was also constructing her brand in a way that is higher level and not so much in the weeds. That, like, yes, I can do the work and be in the computer and do this, and I can strategize, and I can find problems, and I can solve these problems for you. So we reworked that so that, one, she believed in and understood how she could do this, how she would answer questions if she didn't know a specific software or a specific piece, right? How she would answer the questions specifically with stories. And then also we put certain things on her resume. I'm a firm believer of a branded resume in LinkedIn, right? This is how, when you have a branded resume in a LinkedIn, this is how you stand out. So you're not blending in. Your resume and your LinkedIn should not look like everybody else in your industry, okay? So that was the first thing we did. The second thing we did, as we were going through and we're working on her brand, it became apparently clear some of these thoughts that she had. So this is where the mindset piece came in. And the thoughts of, I don't have enough, they're going to see me as a job hopper. What if they don't think I have the experience, like all of these things. And I was like, okay, but you've been getting interviews. Is this true? Like, what can you believe and get behind right now? So one of the thoughts that she came up with was that my skills are in high demand. And then we came up with that thought. She believed it. As soon as it came out her mouth, she was like, yes, my skills are in high demand. I'm like, you know this, right? Like, so if your skills are in high demand, what would we expect to see from somebody's skills that are in high demand? If your skills are in high demand, one, you're going to be a little more selective about the roles that you apply to. So instead of spending all day applying to everything, you're going to spend a couple hours being very selective about the roles and the companies that you reach out to. Okay, so this is how we have mindset, and it shows up in your job search. It's going to help you get these offers. It also helps when negotiating. If she has a skill that is in high demand, she can feel more comfortable negotiating and ask for the money that she really wants and feels that she really deserves. Or not just money, but the flexible schedule, like remote work or hybrid work or more time off. Yes, even in this economy, even in this environment, you can negotiate, especially if you have an in demand skill. And she was taking on the belief that her skills were in high demand, not just in demand, in high demand. And then Once you start to believe that, your brain will do confirmation bias and start looking for ways that it is true. Your brain will also start to help you create ways that this is true. And so we saw that once she hit the branded resume, she would apply. She started getting the interviews. And this was someone who before had applied in January and didn't have back from a company till June. She started applying and hearing back within a few days. And that's because she had the branded resume and she had this new mindset, this new thought of my skills are in high demand. Okay. So I really want you all to take away that element that I'm saying here of like you could have a thought. And it's so important to get to the core of this that is holding you back, that is preventing you from sharing all of your achievements and accomplishments on your resume, that is holding you back from applying to the roles that you really want and deserve, that is holding you back from negotiating the money that you know they have and that you know you deserve as well, and is in line with what you should be getting paid for the role, right? So this is why this piece of the mindset piece is so important. And people want to skip it and just do the action. That's how you get to burning out simply in your job search. And we don't want that. Like I've seen people burn out in the jobs. I'm like, you don't even have the job yet, and you are burned out simply from looking for the job. There is a better way. And that's why I'm sharing this with you all, especially right now. I feel like this is a very time sensitive topic. That's what I'm saying, especially right now. And if you are like, Latrice, I am loving this. I'm loving the aspect of like personal branding combined with like mindset and manifestation. And this is how I'm going to get to the 200K or above in a leadership role or in my business. I want you to think about how this can work for you. How this can work for you. All right. And consider joining one of my programs. If you want to learn more about what I teach, how I do these things, I have a free workshop on it's how to land a leadership role in 2025 as a woman of color. Just put pivot in the comments and we'll send you that link. You can watch the replay immediately and you'll be on my email list. I'm going to be doing some private Q&As and ask me anything. I love those. I'm going to be doing those for my email list. So you definitely want to get on my email list. So yeah, put pivot in the comments so you can get that free workshop. Okay. Do the pivot. We'll send you the link. Once you sign up, you'll be able to get immediate access to the workshop, How to Land a Leadership Role in 2025 as a Woman of Color. And you'll also be on my email list so you can get invited to those exclusive events that I do. All right. So then we want to go on to the third piece that I helped her with, which is her manifestation. So manifestation, again, is just believing. And so using things to help you believe that you can create what you want. Easy, right? Simply create or co-create. Some people like to say co-create or create or co-create. Simple as that. So one of the main things that we do, and you all might have heard me talk about this before, that I work with my clients on, is I say you need to get very clear about what you want, extremely clear. See yourself in it, doing it, feeling it, right? And then one of the techniques that I have them do is I have them write an offer letter to themselves. And we have a template. However, this client was so amazing in how she wrote her offer letter. I was like, yeah, I'm going to use that as my new template. I was like, can I use that as a new template that I share with my other clients? She went into a lot of detail. She knew she wanted something that was either remote or hybrid. She knew she wanted something that was in like closer to the 200 to 300K mark. She knew she wanted something which is what was a little more secure. And we all know government and government contracts jobs used to be the element of security. And in 2025, this is not. They don't have that element of security anymore. So she wrote this very detailed offer letter to herself. And that wasn't it. She didn't just write it. She looked at it. She visualized it. She felt it like, oh my God, like what are the feelings you're going to have when this offer letter comes to you via email? What is your response going to be? How are you going to feel like working from home, getting that first check, right? And so she printed it out and put it on like her wall on her desk. So anytime she was about to apply for a job, take a virtual interview, do anything with her career, she saw that offer letter. This is key. I do this with like if I want a certain amount of money for either the month or the year, I put you all might have seen me do this, but I had the actual one that I show my clients. I printed out like a PayPal receipt and altered the amount, and I looked at that and it was like, this is the amount I want. I want one person to pay me this amount, and I want it repetitively. And I looked at that every night, and it took about 6 or 7 months, and it finally happened, and then it just kept happening quicker and quicker. With the offer letters, because you already know what you want, it doesn't have to take several months. I think it took up for her to get this offer, maybe it took around 2.5 months to get this $180,000 offer. So that is something you all could easily do. Okay. Hey, Kimberly, thank you for saying pivot. Thank you for joining. We're going to go ahead and get you that link, but thank you. Just wanted to give you a shout out. But that's something you all can easily do. Again, this was kind of like the last step. We'd already got clear on what she wanted. We got clear on her brand. She had that mindset correct. And we were like, okay, let's write this, let's write your own offer letter. Something you all could do is like, okay, how do I create my own opportunities and create what I want? Okay. If you all have questions about this, like mindset, manifesting, personal branding, my favorite topics, to the point I'm even thinking about incorporating more of that into my business and revising some things. But if you all would like to hear more about the mindset techniques or manifestation techniques that I do with my clients, and you want to hear more about that, let me know. I'm thinking about doing like a whole little workshop or a course solely on how to like create or manifest the roles and revenue that you want, because this also works for businesses. I have another client. She started her own LLC and she was able to get like a contract role with her LLC, earning $300,000 in a remote role. So these techniques work. And she is someone who actually hired another coach. She had worked with another coach before she worked with me. And those techniques simply did not work for her as a woman of color. She's an Asian woman, and it just simply did not work for her. So if you all want to hear more about this, let me know. Give me like a Y or like a 1 in the comments if you're like, we want to hear more about like mindset, manifestation, personal branding, and how that can equal to more money, more roles, more opportunities for you all. Let me know. My team replay people, give me hashtag replay when you post the replay and let me know. Because I want to hear what is going to move the needle for you all. What's going to help you all get the opportunities and the income that you all want. All right. So thank you all for joining. Be sure to continue to put your questions and comments in the comment section, because even once the live is over, we still see the comments, me and my assistant, and we still reply to everyone. But yeah, I'm excited to bring this topic. I'm excited for the opportunities that you all are going to create. And just know, if you want that 180,000, that 200, or even $300,000 offer, you can still get that today with all of these things going on. It may just have to look differently than what you've done in the past, and that's okay. All right. You all have a wonderful day. And thank you all for joining me for this. I think I'm going to call it Lunch with Latrice. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.